friends, what is going on? Happy Wednesday. It's your girl Mel. I'm jumping on here. It's 11 o'clock on Wednesday and I want to show you guys how to prepare spaghetti squash. So originally on the menu today was $1 million spaghetti and it's really, really good. We make it a lot. But this morning when I told Dee what we were having, Dee's my husband, he was like, can we just do regular spaghetti, like none of the other stuff? Like, can we just cook the spaghetti squash and then brown and season our meat and then use our sauce and just do that, like spaghetti? And I was like, sure. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you guys saw my meal planning video on Sunday and or you saw my menu for the week yesterday, the recipe for $1 million spaghetti is posted in there. You guys, it's a really, really good recipe. Super easy to make. And I think everyone should have it. It's really good and it reheats really well. So we're just gonna do regular spaghetti, but I'm gonna show you guys the spaghetti squash. But first, I wanna show you guys a drink that I've been mixing up. It's not ketones, it's not a supplement. It's just literally something different to have during the day to get your water in, all right? So most of the time I shoot for a gallon of water, 100 to 128 ounces of water. So my main goal over the last, like 3 years has been 100 ounces a day. I'm just being a little bit more intentional with my goals right now because I have an event in December and I just want to trim up and feel a little bit more confident in my skin. So, we are just being a little more intentional. So my goal right now is 128 ounces. So that is water. All right. That's not supplements. That's not, tea, coffee, any of that. Okay. That's strictly water, but I do like to add in flavor to my water. And I've been watching a lot of people on TikTok who've had like stomach surgery, and a lot of the bariatric patients say that their doctors tell them as long as your water flavor is caffeine free, you can count it as your water. So if you're mixing stuff in caffeine, coffee, tea, some of the water flavors do have caffeine in them. They'll say caffeine free if they don't. Those don't count, but I'm going for it. So this is the unicorn drink that's kind of been blowing up over the summer on TikTok. There's unicorn water, there's mermaid water. It's super tasty. And it's really simple. So this unicorn syrup you can get on Amazon or on the Skinny Syrups website. I don't make any money. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just really like this, so I wanted to show it to you guys. But it's just like a really light purple water. And then you take the Starburst water flavor packets and you mix them together. So I have 40 ounces of water right here. And I'll add one Starburst packet. And you can buy both of these on Amazon, by the way. I'll add that, and then I'll add 3 pumps of unicorn syrup. It's unicorn water. And then you just mix it up and you drink it. It's so good. It's so good. So I'm gonna mix that up real fast. I need to take a Zyrtec. I'm really itchy today. So anyways, as you guys are popping on, say hey, say hi. Let me know where you're coming in from. Maxine's from Mississippi. I'm from St. Louis. Let me know if you're catching me on the live or if you're catching this on a replay. Drop a 1 if you're catching this on the live. Drop a 2 if you're catching this on the replay. All right? And if you guys have water flavor combos that you love, definitely let us know in the comments as well. I cannot take credit for this. It is not my original, but it's good. All right, I need to get a Zyrtec real fast. And then I'm going to show you guys spaghetti squash. So let me know. Hold on. Let me know in the comments if you guys have made spaghetti squash or not. Put yes if you have and no if you have not. Now, I think it was like, was it last week or the week before? It might have been the week before. I showed you guys au gratin spaghetti squash. Chef's kiss. It was so good. You have to cook the spaghetti squash first for all of this stuff, whether you're doing $1 million spaghetti, au gratin spaghetti squash, or anything else that requires the spaghetti squash. You have to cook it first, okay? So if you guys do your squash a different way, great. This is just the way that I've always done it, and it's super easy. So you take a spaghetti squash. So that's what this is. You buy it at the grocery store. Some of the international people, you guys call this something else, but it's literally just spaghetti squash, okay? And what I like to do is cut off the ends. Okay? So cut off the ends, just like that. Okay, and then you're just gonna cut the spaghetti squash down the middle, like right in half, like you would a watermelon. Okay. Sometimes they're really hard to cut and sometimes they're not. All right, this one was not that hard to cut. So then you have the inside of it right here and you have all of this, like these seeds. You wanna scoop these out. All right, so you wanna scoop out all the seeds right here. I normally just do this in a trash can, but I'm gonna do it right here for you guys so you can just see. Now, some people like to eat the seeds. I don't. Some people use it for like compost. I also don't do that. I just toss it, but the sky's the limit. So, do you guys see how, hold on. When I'm getting the seeds out, do you guys see how it's kind of curling a little bit? So what's gonna happen is this is gonna bake, and then the inside is gonna get really soft. And so after it comes out of the oven and it cools for a little bit, then you just take a fork and you start shredding it and it looks like little noodles. And then and that's what you use to bake and that's what you can eat. So that's what the inside looks like on that one. And then we're gonna do the same for this one. We're just gonna take all the insides out. I'm gonna get all the seeds out. Perfect. See? Everything's out of the middle, all right? So then what I do is I take some avocado oil. Okay, so just some basic avocado oil. And I'm just gonna dump some in the middle of each piece. Like so, all right? It doesn't matter how much, just pour some in there. And then swoosh it around and then kind of rub it all over the like rind, just on the inside. Just rub it all around, okay? It's okay if it's still pulled in there, all right? Do the same for this. You just wanna make sure that it's got a good bunch of oil. Doesn't matter how much, that one has a little bit more. And then if you wanna pour out the little excess, you can. But there's that. Let me wash my hands real fast. This seems simple enough, right? Those of you guys who have made spaghetti squash before, is this how you do it as well? Okay. So then, I want to know, is this how you guys do it? Let me know. So then you want to transfer it to a parchment paper lined baking sheet, all right? So don't use wax paper. In the beginning, I used wax paper. Don't use wax paper. Use use parchment paper, all right? So you're gonna put your spaghetti squash right there, and then you're just gonna season it. I just use salt and pepper. So we're just gonna put some salt and pepper on it. Okay, then we're gonna add some salt. You can add any kind of seasoning you want. And then what you wanna do is you just wanna flip them over. Just like this, okay? We don't even really need to take this sticker off, but we will. We're not gonna eat this part, all right? So we've got that. And then you just bake it in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes at 375. So it looks just like this. This is what it looked like seasoned, okay? You can add as much or as little as you want. You can add other seasonings if you want. I just do salt and pepper. And then you just bake it 45 minutes. I do 45 minutes at 375. And then I have my meat to brown, and Dee will season it because he likes to season it. This is the sauce we're using. So this is the expensive stuff. I got it on sale, that's why I have it. Just when you look at the ingredients, try to stick under 5 grams of total carbs per serving, all right? And then we're gonna use Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese, and that's gonna be lunch. So, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm gonna go back through and see if any. You're welcome, Kayla. It's so easy to make spaghetti squash, okay? So then you bake it for 45 minutes. When it comes out, flip it over, let it cool, and then take a fork and literally just shred it. Just run the fork over the inside of it. It'll like goop and then dump it in a bowl. And then in the bowl, that's when you can add your other ingredients. You can, some people do put it back into the spaghetti squash just for presentation. I like to mix everything up in a bowl, so I don't do that. But you can add butter to it, garlic butter, and just eat it that way. You can add other flavors to it. You can make it basically any pasta dish out there. You can use that as a substitution. You can use it as a side item. It's really good. I made that au gratin spaghetti squash like 2 weeks ago, I think it was. That is going to be on our Thanksgiving menu this year. It was so good. Dee and I were like, dang, that was so good. So we're making it on. It's one of the things we're doing for Thanksgiving. And I don't know, I'm really excited. Let me know if you guys have questions. I've tried sending you a friend request so I can get recipes, but I haven't seen any response. So Lori, I'm really behind in my messages. I'm working on them today. I think I had like 400 messages that I was trying to get through, and I'm busy. I'm a busy mom. So, you can send me another one if you want. It'll send it to the top. Also, if you did not send me a friend request with it, then it's in another folder that I'm working on as well. So, my goal this afternoon is to get completely caught up on messages. So I apologize for that. You bake it whole first, then cut it and remove the seeds, add seasoning and butter. That's interesting, Kathleen. I've never seen that before. So you bake it, you don't even cut it? You just put the whole thing. I need more information, Kathleen. Like you just like literally stick the whole spaghetti squash on a tray and put it in the oven? How long, what temp? And then you do everything. Interesting. I'm curious. My spaghetti squash was super hard to cut. Yes. So spaghetti squash sometimes are really hard to cut.
That'll solve that problem for you.
What?
Making it whole would solve that problem.
Yeah, well, Dee says that might solve your problem, Kayla. But also, if you can cut off the edges, I don't know, something about cutting off the ends makes it a whole lot easier for me. I used to try to just cut it right down the middle, but I don't know. It's in my brain. I was like, I cut it open, it releases the pressure, and then I can cut it. I don't know.
The only thing that you couldn't do if you bake it whole is season it first and let those seasonings bake into it. But you can season it afterwards, obviously. But
yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Dee says hi. He's giving his 2 cents. By the way, I burned a nasty ass candle this morning. Yeah. It's called, what's it called?
Shit in a box.
Let me show you guys. Do not buy this candle. Actually, I'm gonna throw it in the trash.
Something vanilla bean.
It's so nasty, you guys. Okay.
Are we sure this isn't it over here? No, this is a shirt.
No, that is not it. This candle right here is called Vanilla Bean Pumpkin from Walmart. It literally smells like nasty. I don't even know what. It's gross. Will you just throw that away? It's so gross. It's so pretty. And I think somebody on Instagram was like, oh my gosh, it's the best candle ever. And so, of course, I got it.
It doesn't smell bad here, but when you burn it, it smells bad.
It smells awful. Do not buy it. Do not buy it. Sometimes I poke holes in microwave for a few minutes and then cut, season, and bake. Oh, that's a really good idea, Kayla, too. Andrew says that she puts it in the microwave for a few minutes to soften it, poke holes in it, whatever. Like I did the pizza crust. And then it'll soften it a little bit and then make it easier to cut. That's a really good idea. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, he thinks he's funny.
I am funny.
He says I am funny. All right, do you guys have any other questions for me before I get done with this? So we're just gonna brown this hamburger meat and then we'll have it all in a pan. So we'll brown the hamburger meat, he'll season it. When the spaghetti squash is done, we'll add it to sauce, add the meat to the sauce, add cheese to it, and we're not gonna bake it, we're just gonna eat it like spaghetti. I don't know if that's how you guys make spaghetti, but normally we'll boil the noodles, cook the meat, add the sauce to the noodles, add the meat to the everything's gut, whatever. It's a process. That's what we're gonna do. But if you want the $1 million spaghetti squash recipe, it's already been posted a couple times and it's amazing. So if you're missing pasta and you're lazy keto, make it. Perfect. Any other questions before I pop off? At all. I appreciate you guys. It's really, really nice here. Whereabouts in Missouri are you? I'm across the river in Illinois. I love watching you. I love you too. Thanks, Connie. I am in Winsville, Missouri, which is about 45 minutes west of St. Louis. We're actually called the Crossroads of America. I was like, oh, is that because we are the center part of the whole country? No, it's because we have 2 major interstates that cross through our town. I make my beef filling and split it in thirds. My other half is not low carb. A third gets spaghetti squash, a third gets cauliflower rice, and his gets pasta. Nice. I like that that's option and you're making it work for everyone. That's cool. I hope you guys have a great day too. So Connie, for many years, I would say collectively, probably 7 years, I was a manager at the TGI Fridays in Fairview Heights. And our wedding reception was actually at the Ramada Inn, which was, it's not there anymore. So we got married over here, well, in Old Town St. Louis, or Old Town Florissant, where I grew up. And our wedding reception was at the Ramada. And I was pregnant with Austin. I like stories, you guys. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And if you want to jump off, I'm done. But I was pregnant with Austin in July. He was born in August of 2006. And a huge tornado came through the area. So I was managing that day in Fairview Heights. And they like evacuated the hotel and put everybody in the banquet rooms. And that's where all of the people who were eating in the restaurant were supposed to go to, the employees and everybody. Well, there was 2 different families that would not leave the restaurant. And so I couldn't leave the restaurant. And so I had to stay there while the tornado hit. It didn't hit our restaurant, but it knocked out an H&M and a person died, which was literally right across the street. And then on the other side of the highway is this big mall. And in the mall is this like glass decorative dome, and it blew that out and leveled the apartment building behind the TGI Fridays. So it basically went in like a horseshoe around the restaurant, and it was so scary. But yeah, you're in Old Town Florissant, Carol. So I grew up on New Florissant Road. My house was directly across the street from Atonement Church. My very first job ever at 14 was Doozle's. I worked at Kenrod's during high school. I worked at the Steak and Shake at Halls Ferry and Shackelford. Halls Ferry and Lindbergh. Halls Ferry and Shackelford. That one over there. I worked at the Target on Lindbergh. Went to McClure North, and that's where I grew up. And I moved out here in 2011. We moved to Winsville. But we got married at the old Little White Chapel in North County. It was crazy. Power was out for like almost a whole month. Power was out for a really long time. They could not get it going. It was crazy. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's what I got for you guys. So I'm going to jump off here. You're lucky, Gail, because we get a lot of tornadoes here in St. Louis, or tornado warnings. There was another time I was working at the TGI Fridays in St. Charles on a Friday night. It was Good Friday in April. And my husband calls and he says, hey, heads up, there is a debris ball heading down 70 right in your direction, so stay safe. It was a Friday night full restaurant, right? So we get everybody in the coolers and we do all the things for, weather preparedness or whatever. Well, it just kept on going past us and ended up taking out the church a mile from where we lived. So he was calling to tell me to beware of the debris ball that literally ended up taking out a whole wing of the airport, knocking down a whole church, and basically causing havoc in Ferguson. So that was crazy. We have lots of tornadoes. Oh, your dogs are barking. That's because there's an Amazon guy outside. They don't like the Amazon guy. I love the Amazon guy. Anyways. All right, well, I am going to jump off here, but I appreciate you all. I love you all. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.